All right, so this is how to make money as a crypto KOL channel. Welcome back. If you haven't done so, make sure you go subscribe so that you can follow up on how to actually make money as a crypto KOL. Not just make money, but make big money as a crypto KOL. Who is this channel for? I'll tell you who this channel is for. It's all the KOLs that are in the space at the moment. You want to become a crypto KOL? Think about becoming a KOL. You're poor, rich, small, large, whatever, this is the channel for you. And who is the channel not for? If you're looking at like financial advice, you want trading stuff, whatever, analysis, recommendation, if you're just a crypto investor, whatever, this isn't for you. This is how to make big money as a crypto KOL. So in last episode, we looked at where does money come from for crypto KOLs. If you've been in the crypto KOL industry, you probably would have experienced one of the many or all of these opportunities for your channel. And today we're going to talk about what does not make money. Okay, why crypto channels fail and why some of these deals are actually terrible for you. Okay, so if we look at deals and promos, okay, deals and promos, well, they're basically people coming up to them and be like, yo, and this is probably the most common, or this is probably why most of the KOLs start in their journey to be able to, go and make a bit of money from their crypto channels, right? So they go, well, with the deals and promos, they say, we're going to give you $1,000 for a video, $400 for a video. If you depending on which platform you are, depending on how many followers you got, that's what they're going to do. The problem with deals and promos is that there is no set sort of price on like how much deals should be. I've seen really, really small KOLs receive big deals, and I've seen really, really large KOLs receive very, very small amount of money to make their videos. Like I'm talking people with 600,000 followers on subscribers on YouTube still making videos for $3,000 a video. How sad is that? It's not like their viewers shit or anything like that. They got heaps of views, but still they're not getting big money. And I've seen people on TikTok land, right, receiving, $5,000 for a TikTok video, which is quite crazy. Just one. All right. You get, people, but there's no standardized sort of approach with this. So any kind of like advertiser or you've got your, and it's crazy. Like I was trying to do a deal with a crypto influencer, a KOL, and they were charging $3,000 for a video. And then their agents were charging $30,000 for a video. They came in with a pretty pitch deck, this and that. And it's just a crisis as to how opaque this industry can be. So it really comes down to your negotiation abilities and trying to get the deals in. Now, if you're not a massive KOL, right? If you're not a massive KOL, and if you're massive or not, clearly, right? If you're not a massive KOL, deals and promos are not the way to go. Deals and promos will not make you consistent cash flow for you to actually have this thing. How can crypto KOLs have a sustainable business with cash flow? You can't. Deals and promos simply will not make you the consistent cash flow to be able to make the money that you should be making if you're going to be contributing a lot of time into this video. I'll give you an example. Let's say you're a crypto influencer and you make a video every single day. All right. Most crypto influencers do to stay updated, to actually engage the community. That's what you got to do. Crypto followers are incredibly demanding people. So you got to then create a very, very regular content. And as you do, right, you get really freaking exhausted. You also feel like you can't push any deals and promos out there on every single video. Then the engagement drops. So what you do is you try and make a deal or a promo video once every week or so. Let's say you're somebody that gets paid $1,000 to do a promo video. Now, if you're listening to this video and you're going, oh shit, I would love to get $1,000 for a video, well, then you got a long way to go. But a lot of people do receive that kind of money. Typically, if you're semi-large, right? And then you receive $1,000 a video. Well, if you think about it, if you spread it out across the 7 videos, you're barely receiving $180 a video, right? 180 USDT per video, which is just so sad. Like, do you get your videos edited? Do you do it yourself? Do you get somebody else to edit it? Like, where does the money come from? And if you're making $4,000, which is 4 weeks, 4 videos a month, you don't have a business. Like, you might as well go work for McDonald's and you'll make the same kind of money. But if you believe you can get really freaking big, right, and then you can charge big money for the videos, like the guy who has 600,000 followers, and then you've got $3,000 per video, well, I don't know if that's the type of content that you should be going for. So deals and promos are there. You can make money. And also these deals and promos dry up in the bear market, right? And the name of the game for crypto KOLs is to survive as many bear markets as possible. When you do, you'll become the authority. So try and stay in the market as a crypto KOL for as long as you possibly can. That's my advice for deals and promos. Second is launchpads, right? So the deals and promos just simply cannot provide a sustainable cash flow. It is a cream on top, but it's not something that you will build a sustainable business out of. And to be honest, deals and promos are usually around coins that don't really do that well. Plus, there's a model, I think, if you want to push hardware wallets, you can do. But the commission on those are so pretty crap. Like, unless you make a tutorial video on how to use ledger wallets and stuff like that, no one's gonna like, that's got to get big views, and it's gonna bring in a whole bunch of orders. But after that, there's no money that's rolling, and there's no monthly recurring revenue with these kind of deals and promos. And that's why I don't think deals and promos make a lot of money. And if that's all you're aiming for as a crypto KOL, you're trying to get, and you know what, to try and get a deal done every single week, to do enough negotiation, talk to the guys that are advertising, and try and negotiate the right amount of money, bro, like. And I've seen people put together a massive pitch deck on how much reach they've got and all the analytics that they have, so that the advertisers or people with shit coins would want to come and promote their coin and their project with you guys. Well, it's just a lot of work for very, very little money. You're still doing this for $1,000 a week, which is just simply unsustainable unless you come from like Philippines or Venezuela or in these like low socioeconomic countries, right, where this does become a reality for you. Launchpads, okay, let's talk about that. Launchpads are interesting. Launchpads make you pay for the money, which is really freaking interesting. They say you got $2,000, $4,000, $10,000 allocation. If you're big, you get to pay more money into launchpads and launch projects. Sometimes they give you free allocations, but then, for the hot projects, that's what happens. This was particularly hot in 2021. It still remains in the market, which I think is just crazy. Right. And what happens is, you there's a cliff, right? You can withdraw your tokens, once every month or so for the next 20 months. And it's like 5%, release. And if they get programmed onto the smart contract, then you'll get your money. If not, they don't even distribute it, which is the most scammy part of launchpads. But if launchpads do work out well, and if you do more than 20x, right, and gone are those days, unfortunately, I must say, then in your first TGE, you can actually make a bit of money. You can return at least the initial investment, and every subsequent distribution can be yours. Now, with the launchpads, you tie up your wallet address, and like the scammers are out there to try and steal your wallet, right? Once your wallet gets compromised, well, guess what? You're basically stuffed, right? Any kind of distribution is going to go into that compromised wallet, and you're not going to see any of your distribution. So launchpads have some struggle as well. And not to mention, after the initial launch, very, 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 very small percentage of launched like coins do really well in the long term. So you are going to have to rug pull out of every single one of your followers. If they join the launchpad through some sort of a pool, some sort of a lottery that they can like get their $500, $100, $600 allocations, make a little bit of money, like great, but just don't even say it as if like it's a project that's going to do really well into the future, because it won't. It simply won't, guys. Like, you can come and have a debate with me. I don't really give a crap. Like, I know how this works, and it's literally like you're basically it's gonna moon the first day, first 15 minutes, and as soon as the first 15-minute TGA is over, because that's when all the KOLs can start withdrawing their money. And all the initial investors start withdrawing their money. It's basically a shitcoin, and all these like roadmap and stuff like that is not. It's not a real thing. Okay, so you are gonna infringe your reputation on it, unless you're really upfront and honest about like how these work, which nobody really does, because by doing that they don't really get that many subscriptions, and the advertisers don't really like you doing that kind of launchpad promotions, which is kind of stupid. Shitcoins, well, shitcoins. I mean, you can create them, and that's probably the best way to do it, but you need some serious clout around to be able to do that. The best guy who's done shitcoins, I believe, is Donald Trump, right? And his wife, right? And that's where the shitcoins really, really shine. However, like, you're putting a lot of reputation down the line. I think in 2021, we had a project called Ethereum Max that came out, and we had like, what's her name? Kim Kardashian behind it and stuff like that. And like, and they sort of hushed it over, and a lot of rug pull, and there's a lot of views on it, and like people get really like pissed off because they lose all their money, this and that. Huck Tour is another example as well for shitcoins. But unless you're one of these people, I don't think shitcoins are really the helpful, unless you're somebody that can actually consistently do this really well, and you're able to create positive returns every single time. But I just don't see this as a positive model for any KOLs who are trying to build a reputation and authority in the space. It just simply doesn't work. NFTs, I mean, I don't need to say anything about NFTs. I feel like NFTs are just like old news, basically. Was it what's his name? Snoop Dogg did NFTs, and NFTs used to launch at $300 a pop, and he only launched it at like $7 or $12 a pop recently, and he sold like heaps of those, like 1 million of those. They used to like launch 3,000 NFT variations at a time, but he launched like 1 million of those, so he made 12 million. Like, great, good on him. Like, that's how that works. But then NFTs and Play-Doh, and they're so 2021 now, they just doesn't make any money. I want to skip over exchanges for a minute. I want to talk about exchanges in the next episode. AdSense. Okay, AdSense is interesting. AdSense, you got to get some pretty big views, and we talked about CPM in the previous episode. Finance and investing does get high CPMs as well, but let me tell you, like, AdSense is really not why you do this business for, right? AdSense does not make good money. It's just a little bit of an icing on the top. I think I saw Ryan Sohan. He does a real estate channel, right? But he was sharing on the video once upon a time, a few years ago. He would basically say, yo, like, we're doing videos and AdSense covers our like costs, but it doesn't actually create big money when it comes to the profits for the channel. So AdSense will cover your costs once you get big enough as well. And you got to build a pretty big audience to actually make some money on AdSense, whether that's on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, wherever the hell it is, you can potentially monetize with the platform. Discord group. Okay, you can charge $40 for your Patreon, your Discord group. That's whatever. First of all, it takes a lot of time to set it up. Second of all, you gotta devote your entire life to it. You gotta create a free version and then a paid version, and then like the penetration from the free version, free users to the paid guys is so low. I used to work for a Discord group as like a consortium of like influencers to come and do lessons and do weekly inputs and daily sessions and all that kind of stuff. Bro, you are gonna lose a lot of energy. Like I understand that for you, this crypto channel is a business, and if you're using Discord group as a primary model, you are gonna burn out very, very quickly. I must tell you, unless you're some autistic, like crazy savant where you love this kind of stuff. And I have met these kind of KOLs who make consistent income from the Discord group, especially from the bull runs and things like that. But once again, bear market comes on, a lot of these things then dry out. Okay, exchanges, I have saved that for the next episode, and I will talk about that a little bit more. Okay, it is always about how can crypto KOLs have a sustainable business with cash flow. Once again, I just want to remind you about who I am. Why do I talk the way I do? How do I know the things that I know? Okay, I was a KOL myself. I no longer create content because I have found a bigger business doing something else, of course. But I am in the space, in the Web3, in the crypto content industry. I have done all of these things. That's why I can speak about all of these things. But I know one way that makes the most sustainable monthly recurring revenue for the KOLs, and that's something that I want to share with everybody today. Now, on this channel rather. Now, it's not that I'm going to stay away from all of these ways to make money, because I think these are ways to make money. It's just a bit extra, but it can't be your primary method of monetization on your channel. That's what I'm saying. And with that, I want to be able to shed some light into, how much you guys should be getting paid, how large you guys are, and to be able to set a bit of an industry standard on how you can operate a business as a crypto KOL. That's incredibly important. Okay, and then we're gonna talk about exchanges in the next episode, and I'm really excited for it. If you haven't done so, make sure you go and subscribe. This is a very, very early channel. I know I have a very, very like niche channel that I'm running at the moment, but I'd love to communicate and talk with more of your KOLs outside in crypto. If you're not speaking English, that's fine. I'm happy to connect with you anyway. And send us an email, and let's actually chat about how we can actually monetize your content. I do plan to drop some courses and whatnot down the track. I have a track record of training a bunch of KOLs who are generating almost little to no money within their channel, all the way up to 6 figures a month on a regular basis, and that's something that I want to help you guys achieve in this channel. And let's so stay tuned. Make sure to subscribe. And even if you and I don't get to work together, I don't really care. I'm just here to provide value. If you found value in this channel so far, then make sure you can go and drop a follow, drop a subscription, and I will see you in the next.